stampingcatcrew.com. Today we're going to make this Hope Your Day is Magical card. Love this little wizard guy and did some fun things with it. We're going to use the Magical Day stamp set, which is tons of fun. So obviously got the mermaid, little seahorse, the dragon and the knight, a little unicorn and the wizard. We've got some little star spatters, some bubbles, some flame for the dragon, and then your sentiments. This suite of products is in the 2018 Occasions little mini catalog. Coordinating die cuts, which are just beautiful and make these shapes really fun. So the one we used, of course, is the wizard, but all of them have some really intricate die cuts, so no fussy cutting, which is fun. And the other thing that's in this is sparkly paper, sparkly washi tape. There's some really beautiful designer series paper in there. So a whole suite of products that you can just do a ton of stuff with. So lots and lots and lots of fun. I'm going to set that aside. We popped up this image, and I wanted to have some stars here and some little sparkles from his crystal ball. And this should be the night sky. And I wanted it to look like a castle here. So we did the brick embossing folder, and then I just took a regular, just cheap hole punch and brought it up enough where I could start my cut and cut out the bricks where I wanted them to be. These little cuts right here are from our 1/8 of an inch hole punch. It is in the big catalog. So I've got some extras here for when we assemble the card. And that's it. It's on our silver sparkly paper. I used it on the ends here and here. The wizard, I did stamp in Memento ink because I wanted to use the new Stampin' Blends markers on him. So we did use the Smoky Slate in light. I did a little bit with the color lifter, which is here. And then we did Night of Navy with the light and dark. And then this is the marker Ivory. And then I also put some Wink of Stella, and I'm hoping the camera can pick that up if I tilt it in the light. But we did it on his beard, and so it turned out really, really cute. Did the stamping for the stars in Craft Ink Whisper White. So I'm going to try a little bit something different with this one, but I'll show you what I did. I'm going to set the finished card aside and bring in our pieces right here. So I've pre-done the stamping, and I've already glued the little pieces onto there. This is our wizard. I've done the coloring with the alcohol inks, so don't have to sit through that. I know we've had lots of tutorials around for the Stampin' Blends. You can see what I cut out for the brick, and that's just going to be popped up like that, and we'll have the stamping on the inside. I always tell you, remember to make your envelopes pretty. So this is the stamps that we did on the envelope, and that's in Night of Navy ink. Both of these are also in Night of Navy ink. And then we talked about the fact that this was in the Craft White ink. Set that aside. The base is in Smoky Slate. It's cut in 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded in half at 4 1/4. I've got a base underneath the basic gray in Night of Navy. And literally I did, always for the inside layer, I do 5 1/4 by 4 inches for the inside. And so I took 1/8 of an inch off that Night of Navy all the way around so it wouldn't show around the edges. And that made it pretty easy. What I want to do is use our Stampin' Dimensional strips right here. And we do sell these in the catalog. I love them for shaker cards, for the pop-up motion cards, any kind of card like that. I'm going to put one along the top, and I'm going to put one along the bottom. And then I've got a couple shorter ones that I've cut to run along the sides. And had a couple little pieces. Pretty much just gonna stick one right there where that sticks out. So if I remove the strips from the backing on these, and they come off really easily. I'm going to take this blue, and remember all we did was literally go like 1/8 of an inch in. And so I'm going to center this right on the back, just like that. I'm going to take our snail adhesive, run it right around the edges, put a little bit in the center. So we've got our base pretty much ready to go, and I want to center that right on here. I'll pull that towards me so I don't put my head in the camera, which is never fun. And that way the bricks are popped up and this looks like the night sky behind. So the first part I want to add is the Hope Your Day Is, and then we've got the magical right here. We're going to kind of eyeball where we want those two things to go. And then we know that we want our wizard right about here, and you're going to want his little crystal ball and some stars flowing this way. So that looks just about right. And I often do this. I'll lay everything out so that I can really eyeball and see kind of where everything is going. And that just helps me get a good visual before I start assembling. And I put some adhesive on the ends of each of those. We're going to do the same thing with the back of this. You can see on the back here, all I did was put some two little blue flagged ends. Didn't have to go all the way across, especially because it's more at an angle here. So if you had something go across, you wouldn't be able to follow that line true because it's kind of a rounded. So if we put our wizard here, and we're going to kind of eyeball where he's going to go. And so you know you're just going to want adhesive pretty much just on his body would be plenty, and none of that is going to stick out. So we're just using the snail adhesive, something real easy. And then for the crystal ball, I took one of the large rhinestones from our set. And it's just going to look like he's holding that in his hand. And I told you I wanted to try something a little different. If you look at the envelope, these are the blue stars that we used here for the envelope. And what I wanted to try, grab a block. There we go. Was some of the smaller ones on the inside, and to see how that looks. So magic of camera, not so much. We're going to give this a little test run. And so we know we want white stars, and then all I'm going to do is kind of give it a little bit of turn each time that I'm putting it down. And I think I like that. Even better than the bigger ones. So I'll bring that back so that you can see we had some of the bigger sparklies with the silver. And so we're still going to add the silver sparkles in here. But rather than change the color, I thought, oh, there's a whole nother set of sparkles inside. Why not go ahead and utilize those? So I'm going to take a little bit of our Tombow Multi-Liquid Glue. And it literally just takes like a tiniest dot. And the other thing that I have, and you can also use one of our stylus, it just has an end that's rounded that I can use to pick up these pieces. I've pre-cut them out, again, using that 1/8 inch hole punch. We do have a 1/16 inch that's very tiny, but I thought that would be a little bit too small. And right there. And so set that aside, and you can see this is the one that we started with. Hope your day is magical. And this is our finished one. Also, hope your day is magical. You are one of a kind, and just did the little different stars. So you can do whichever one you like the best. Everybody has a different preference. And so I hope that gave you some fun ideas and enjoyed stopping by today. Thanks so much, and happy creating.